Hey YouTube, Tootie back again with a pickups, trades and an update video. As you can see, or not see, I don't know about the camera. Which way am I going? That way. Got the Amiga up and running with a hard drive. I'm not going to bore you the details, but if anyone would like my take on it, and it's done to death on YouTube, you know, and I mean I've picked some bits up and stuff like that off of some of the channels. But yeah, it was a bit of a fucking faff and a bit of a ball ache, truth be told. Probably because of the way I was doing it. Ordinarily you would use a compact flash, which is a 4 gig, which is the highest. This is the biggest disc that an Amiga can read without doing some fancy stuff with SFS file formats and crap. Like I say, it's waffle. Half you know, no disrespect, half of you guys probably won't understand and won't give a shit. But suffice to say, I've had some teething difficulties in getting all the games on there because essentially what happens is it sees the first 4 gig and then when it goes over that it starts overwriting itself. So I kept losing the whole workbench and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And I was getting really agitated, really annoyed. But yeah, I can do a video on it if anyone wants to see it, because it might be interesting for someone who might be thinking of doing it. Because to be honest, you can pick one of the laptop hard drives up for cheap, and you get the cable, and you get the little adapter. It's not, there's no other cost then. So anyway, let me know what I'll do just to. And one other thing I'm going to ask if someone can help me out here. I'm hoping this is going to work. Otherwise, I'm going to look like twat. I don't want that. So what we've got here, basically, this is WHD load is like the sort of utility, if you like, that can load up all the ROMs. But, and I don't believe this, you still need to buy the fucking thing. Even nowadays, it needs to be registered. So I don't. If anybody out there has got a key that they wouldn't mind allowing me to have, just to stop the nag screen, which you'll see in a minute, then that would be absolutely awesome, guys. Obviously, I won't pass it on to anybody else, but. See now it's because I've loaded up until, what letters did I get to? It's all alphabetical. I think I got to about O or something like that on the games. So that'll be chugging through. We'll crack on anyway. I'm not sure. Like I say, I've just been doing this last night. It will be a car boot video. We'll do it after because there's too much stuff. And there's me, right, trying to reduce the length of my videos, and fucking. Rich King Retro fucking pops up with like about 3 hours worth of videos, and I'm thinking, fucking hell, shit. Retro Chef Lee Allen, he's another hour jobby. Jesus, and that's still going through. Right, anyway, trades with a couple of YouTubers, awesome guys. They put a few videos up for some pickups that they had. I'm trying to remember if one of them was actually advertised for trade, or was I just cheeky enough to ask him. I think I was just cheeky enough to ask him. So anyway, this is from Scott, who I mentioned before. I think I've shouted him out last week. It looks like someone told me his name. It looks like T1000 anyway. And he's running out of designer top. So any donations, if anyone's got any old Ralph Lauren or Lacoste Sportif or whatever, or Sergio Tacchini polo shirts, please send them to Scott, because his wardrobe's running dry now. That's still going. Right, anyway, did a trade with Scott. Fucking letter. My dearest Stu, happy trade, mate. I hope you enjoy the game. Cheers for the shout out, big man. Look forward to the next instalment of your videos. Keep up. Keep up. Said works. Lots of love, Scott. P.S. And a wee Brucey bonus in there too. He did say love, honestly. So I read that, I was a bit like, okay, well, yeah, I'm down with thingy side. So the Brucey bonus he sent me is Buffy. on the Game Boy Advance. My daughter will play that. She keeps wanting to watch Buffy. Excuse me, because of these. Right, it's going to load the game up. So we've got some. Excuse me, shit. Got it on in the background. He says. So there you go. It gives you. You probably can't see them anyway, but there's a shitload of this list of games, all alphabetical, and you scroll through them. There is some front end called iGames, but you know what? I had fucking. It was bad enough getting this fucking thing to work. So what I'm going to do is going to load up Batman the movie. So I like that one. So there you go. Look, see that next screen, just there. So it says not registered, so I'll say, bit of a bagger, but if any of you Amiga nuts out there have got a key that they wouldn't mind sending me, I'd be really grateful, because it's fucking annoying as hell. It's Elaborate Bytes, I remember them from years ago when I used to do the old CD cracking. And they'll think they were one of the first, Elaborate Bytes was the first utility that you could use to copy PlayStation games, I think. I think it was Elaborate, yeah I think it was. So anyway, we'll have Batman on in the background, because I do like Batman. I mean, that's pretty awesome. Fucking, I love the music to this. That is fucking awesome. Right, anyway, back to Scott and his love letter. This will still be an hour fucking long. All of that. Right, anyway, so Scott sent me a love letter and then it was in a jiffy bag and then I opened up this load of tissue, so I was getting really fucking worried then. I was thinking, if this tissue stuck together, you could fuck right off. But what we sort of traded for, that sounds really loud to me. Yeah. I'll keep that tissue. Probably need it the way I'm sneezing. What Scott picked up, I think he picked up a couple of these. I thought, actually, shit, I can't remember if it was a batch of them or was that. I'm getting confused now. Probably with gas head. But anyway, picked this up. I said to him, "Oh, I need that one." So I'm missing one more out of this sort of series. Excuse me. We did a deal. I'm sure he's got the game now. Yeah, he told me he had. So I picked up off of him as a trade is Final Fantasy Origins. And typical fucking Royal Mail, wankers. Where is it? It's fucking hinge. It's literally sheared off. I mean, perfectly sheared off. You know, it looked like a little bit. So when I opened it, I thought it was all right, but it's literally the pin. It's completely sheared off. So there's a little bit of a hook there, but at the right angle, it just sort of flies off. But it's a case. Who gives a shit? I've got fucking. Picked shitloads of cases up the other week. That's why I picked them up, you see, purely for things like this. I don't know if that was there before, but there's a crack on the front. So again, don't matter. I've got a case, I can swap it out. So Scott, fucking awesome. So the only one I'm after now is the anthology, and I'll be done then. Final Fantasy wise, I think, on the PlayStation one. Right, get them out of the way. I'll put a link down to Scott's channel. Next one I did with Steve, Little Lee's mate. Well, I suppose that's how I sort of know him, if you like. Another note. Cheers, Steve, for the trade, buddy. I hope you get more use out of the mouse than I would. have. I've thrown in some Bruce's too. You'll more than likely have them. If you have, use them for trade fodder. All the best, Steve 712. Again, I'll link Steve's channel down below. Cracking lad. Again, some of these guys ain't been on YouTube long, so you know, go over, give them your support. You know, I mean, I know people piss and moan about pickups video and that, but for some people, like for me, it's all I have time to do. I don't have oodles of time to sort of play games, and especially at night, because I've tried to do gameplay videos in here, and it turns out shit. It's either too dark or it's too bright, because you can probably hardly see that. So I can't do much else other than that and sort of talk bollocks. That's just the way it is. So, but like I say, these guys, they're up and coming, so sub them. Anyway, Steve sent me, traded rather, his sister picked this up, I think, from the car boot, and it's a Dreamcast mouse. All bagged, everything else, absolutely awesome. So I was happy. Oh no, sorry. And then there was one of the games he picked up. He didn't know it was ring burn, and I just basically sort of said, look, I've had a bit of success polishing them with some T-cuts, not to salon or anything like that, just because they won't take them as soon as you see it. But you can polish it out enough that it plays. I can't remember one of the 360 games that I've got, but it's Fable 3, and it looks absolutely pristine. Other than it's got laser, I think it's called laser burn. But I'm pretty sure I can polish that out. And if I can't, I can't. Yeah, it don't matter. And then the 3 Bruces, I think I've only got one of these. I'm sure the other 2 I need. Or I haven't got, I don't need anything. But Tony Hawk's Project 8. This is what I've got, Devil May Cry 2. Oh, no, I've got all the Devil May Cries. But it is in spanking condition, both discs. So, you know, as Steve sort of said, I have got that. So if anyone needs it or whatever, give us a shout. And Tony Hawk's Underground 2. All in spanking condition. Again, check these guys out, please, if you haven't already, and sub if you like what you see. No beer at the minute, 'cause it's still just before the watershed. Okay, got to stretch out. eBay. Yes, I buy off eBay as well. So sometimes I have to, and sometimes there's good deals to be found. So I'm officially now down to 4 games for the Master System. I think Al on YouTube put a comment up there and he sort of said something like, oh, Retro Collect says you're still at 5. And I was like, what? And when I checked, and what it is, it's basically, depending on, I don't know, some people would argue that Smurfs 2 isn't part of the bigger collection, because I think it was only released in Italy. But it's fucking stupid money anyway. I think even Al has kind of come to the conclusion that he may just admit that one. But anyway, the one I've picked up that I needed, that brings me down to 4, is Cheese Catastrophe, starring Speedy Gonzales. All complete. Now, I was bidding on this on an auction. Another copy come up. I messaged the seller and just sort of said, oh, what are you looking for it? And he was really nice, actually. Nice chap. So we actually talked, whatever, did a deal outside of eBay. I know you're not supposed to, but fuck them. They ain't going to get the fees. So I got this for, I think, less the postage of what the auction one went for. But obviously for me, I didn't have all that hassle and shit of having to sit there fucking clicking buttons and all that crap. So it's in wonderful condition. I've just showed you. Now I'm not sure, this is quite a rare one, clearly, but I'm not sure if it's one of these rare ones that's shit or a rare one that's good, so I don't know. But yeah, I'm whittling it down very slowly. A couple of big hitters left to go now, so there we have it. Right, and then another one off eBay that I've been trying to get for ages, actually, at the right price. It easily sits at around 16 odd quid. I got this for 12 posted. There's an issue with the manual, but I ain't too fussed. It's all there, and that's Ghouls and Ghosts. And the cart's a little bit warm, but again, I'm not overly fussed, because carts can be swapped anyway. It's all there. They get to play it, so that's a nice addition. Right. What's the best? I'll show you this game. So I picked a few of these up. Was it last week or the week before? I think it could have been last week. So I've got another, and there's a reason, there's a method beyond madness on this one. A German copy of Lord of the Rings, The Third Age. And this one is all in German. I can see it on the back. But I didn't know this, I've never seen the Lord of the Rings. It's actually a double discer. Right. So you need to bear this in mind. Right. So, off of Gumtree, this is a nuts deal, this was. I couldn't believe this. There was an advertisement for a couple of Game Boys.
well, 20 quid with some games, and it was 2 Game Boys, what a twat, 2 GameCubes, bunch of games, and all the hookups and everything else, 20 quid. So messages were saying, oh, it's 20 the lowest price, blah, 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 yeah. This, that, and the other, to'd and fro'd. And essentially, and I don't know, I said this to my wife, they couldn't have made any money out of this, or very little. They came and delivered it to my door for 20 quid. And it weren't like local, I mean, it's in the same sort of city, and it's a big ass city, but it weren't like just down around the fucking corner. So I was like, fine, cool. I have got them all, but I thought for 20 quid, the controllers on their own, are worth that. So I got all the hookups. Actually, I got a gold SCART connector, which is I'm going to keep that one. All the power and all that shit, and all the other AV. So we got silver controller to go with. Well, it's platinum, isn't it? The platinum cube. They're a little bit. Just need a bit of polish on them. I know I've got a silver one. We got a purple controller, and we got a black controller. That goes with the black cube, which everyone's seen them. Oh, bit of a memory card as well. And weirdly enough, I've just noticed this. Someone stuck Velcro to the bottom of that. Can you see it? It must have been stuck on the fucking wall or something. Which I suppose not a bad idea, but so that one has a good deal. So yeah, I mean, like I say, even the controllers are like 10 quid a pop, easy. So me being the lizard and all that I am, obviously. The silver one I think I'll keep. I'm not sure about the black and purple, but like I say, I mean, I might just move half of it on, get my money back, and then I've got another silver set and stuff like that. So there's a couple of games. One of them I definitely needed for sure, and the other ones I think I've got. Shit, I'm gonna check that. Right, anyway, so the games are another copy of 007 Nightfire, no manual. It's the second one I've got. WrestleMania 18, complete. Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, which I've got, that's complete. Slight dink in there. So any of these are the ones that anyone's interested in, give me a shout. This one I think I've got, but I need to check. This is the one I'm not sure of. Tony Hawk's 3. This is the one that I was after in terms of like the games. Which is Soul Calibur 2, which is in mint condition, other than the case is fucked. So there's one of the hooks is missing there, so I'll just swap the case out, and there's also got a stupid sticker on it. Yeah, so that was the one that I need. Again, so I mean, if you add it all up, that's still, even if you go on Fleabait, like, I mean, someone paid 5 quid there, it's about that still anyway. And you add it all up, it's no brainer, and I didn't have to go anywhere. So the last game that I've got, so this is definitely, this is up for trade, if anyone's interested, is Resident Evil 4. Now, when I checked this, the disc come flying out because they haven't got, it's not a 2-disc case, so that's where the Lord of the Rings comes in. So if anyone is interested in that, in this even, give us a shout. Discs are fine. The chap was nice actually, who dropped it round. I sort of spoke to him just briefly because it was getting late, and he said he bought the GameCubes, he bought all the Resident Evils, and I was like, shit, where are the rest of them? And he'd sold the rest of them on, got a bit of his money back, so he had this left over. So I was like, oh, shit, never mind. So he did sort of say, oh, some Resident Evil saves on that memory card, which is quite nice of him. Right, nearly there now. Bit of a crack converters. Again, I missed out by, I don't know, I think an hour or two, I think the shopkeeper said. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I don't like missing out on stuff. If I weren't a collector or whatever, I wouldn't be telling the truth, would I? So yeah, I was a bit pissed off. Seeing this in the shop, so I asked the chap there, who I hadn't seen in there before actually, so I think he might be the new manager, so I've got a feeling he's gone through all their stock and pulled out all the retro stuff, because he obviously knew it had some value. Because he had like an unboxed Saturn in there, they had
a GameCube with no controllers and all this kind of stuff. So literally, it's come from somewhere. And I asked him about the games, and he went, "Oh no, I've just sold all of them." And I was like, "Oh." I didn't ask him which ones. I didn't want to know. But I'd seen this, so whoever got them must not have looked in the cabinet. This was in the cabinet, so they just gone and bought the games. So when I asked him how much it was, he goes, "Oh, I think last time I looked at that it was a tenner." And I was like, "I'll have it then." Like straight away. He got it out and it was a little bit more. So he said, "Look, I'll let you have it for 12, because I did say 10. I was like, "That's fine, suits me." So for 12 quid, I've got this. Now, there's two versions of this. I think the Mighty Grub Gun obviously got the GameCube version. This is the PlayStation 2 version. Essentially the same thing. I think the GameCube's yellow. This is red. So I've got the chainsaw controller. Let me get a bit closer. So as you can see, it literally it's all in the baggies still, everything. So there we go. Now, unfortunately, whoever done it has put the fucking platinum version of Resident Evil 4 in there, so I just need to get me. I've got a copy of it, Black Label, but obviously that's in the thingy shelf, so I just need another one to slot in there. But yeah, really nice, nice item. And I wasn't going to leave it there for 12 quid, so bollocks to that. Right, last thing. And then I'll see you for the booter tales from the booter even. Right, I got this from work, lady at work. I sort of speak to her, you know, what, how's your weekend, blah blah. And I'm honest with people, say, look, go to car boot, etc. So we got chatting. She's a really nice girl, about my age. Got an old or younger brother, I can't remember. There's a couple of years in them anyway, so we were just chatting about old stuff and movies and all this kind of shit. There's a young lad in the team, and he's never seen Goonies, and so we're like, just, you know, just doing all that kind of stuff. And obviously, a few people know that I collect video games, but she wasn't aware. So we sort of, like I said, talked about what we did at the weekend. I told her, she's like, "All right." So I think my brother's got some in the loft, and obviously that's me like, what? Buying? Oh yeah, check it out. So anyway. The upshot is she thought it was a Nintendo 64, and to be fair to her, she said, you know, because her brother's sort of quite anal about stuff like that, so he would literally, she said, he would play it and then pack it all back up again and put it all in the bags, everything. So she, for about 2 weeks or whatever, kept just sort of not being pushy, just sort of said, "Oh, have you had a chance to go up in the loft?" and all this kind of stuff. And then 1 week she come back and said, "Oh yeah, I've been up," and she showed me a picture, and it wasn't a Nintendo 64. It was an NES. Now, I kind of have this system, but not anywhere near as in good condition as this. I'm telling you, it's fucking. I know that Pete SNES-tastic got an American one. Someone commented on the condition, and I don't know what box, cardboard, or whatever they used back then, but I must have agreed. This is like hands down. I mean, obviously this guy. Her brother obviously did look after the stuff anyway, so that always helps. But just how it's survived, just fucking amazing. So I only got one loose game with it, which is Kung Fu, and it's got everything in it. I mean, literally, I'll show you. Look, the game's still in the baggie, so. It's in the baggie, it's still got the styrofoam, that's why it's at the top there. It's got all the manuals, everything. The only downside is, which I think's inherent with these ones, is you have that bit where people stick the finger down the back to pull the cartridge out. So that's, you know, that's a cracking edition. So, which version of the NES did I get? I've got an action set, and I'll just have to show you. I mean, this thing is like, it looks like it's just, I mean, there's a little tiny little bits, but for someone at this age, it's absolutely amazing. It's got all the styrofoam, everything in it. I mean, you know, this is I think Pete showed this the other day. Like the family playing the NES, but it's not even connected. There's no connections. But anyway, I'll just quickly show you inside. You've all seen this before, but I mean, I was just blown up. When she showed me it, I was like a kid in a candy shop. She was a bit surprised at how excited I got. Because obviously when she showed me it, in terms of the price, she did sort of say, because I was, you know, I'm a cheapskate. If I can get things for cheap, I will. And the price she quoted at me initially for me was like, I don't know. And she sort of looked at me a little bit. I said, because I've got it, but my box is nowhere near good condition. And she went, oh, actually, yeah, for that much for a box, it is a lot of money. So I ummed and ahed over it for about a week. And then I seen Mark Hornsborough, hung like a Hornsborough. He'd pick one up and he'd pay 50 quid for the sort of control deck version. And everyone was sort of saying, you know, nice buy. And I just thought to myself, Stuart, you're a twat, just fucking buy it. So, yeah, like I say, it's literally all... I'll just show you. Look, everything is in bags. It's all bagged up. So there's no way I'm taking it out because I don't need to. But it's just, even like Mario Duck Hunt's got the instructions, everything's there. The controllers are back in the bags. The controllers are back in the... Just show you. They've even got the, what do you call it, wire things at the bottom of the controller. Can't fault it. So, that is all the pickups for this week, guys. Check out the guys that I mentioned, please. And what time is it now? It might be past lunchtime, so I might have to go to the shop, get some beers, get this sorted out, move everything around, and then we'll do some car booting. Take it easy, YouTube. Bye bye.